Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Audition, a Japanese horror movie from 1999 that was directed by Takashi Miike. This is one of the most popular and highly acclaimed Japanese horror films ever made, and I've already covered this multiple times in my Asian movie collection playlist, my Asian horror playlist, and my Takashi Miike playlist. And yes, I have reviewed over 100 of Takashi Miike's movies in a separate playlist on this channel, and I'll include a link to it in the description box below. In any case, it has been a while since I've talked about this one, and I will admit, sometimes I forget that we're in the year 2025, so there may be some movie fans out there who do not know about this one, since it was released 26 years ago. So let's shine another spotlight on it during this spooky time of year. So our protagonist is this middle-aged man, played by Ryo Ishibashi, and this is the role I kind of know him for, although he's been in some other good stuff. And he visits his wife in the hospital where she dies from an undisclosed illness. 7 years later, his teenage son encourages him to find a new wife. The man's friend, a film producer, played by Jun Kunimura, devises a fake casting audition in which young women auditioned for the starring role of a new television series, although they are really auditioning for the part of the man's new wife. So posing as a casting director, he is immediately enchanted by one particular applicant named Asami, played by Eihi Shiina, who says that she's pursuing a career as a ballet dancer, but she had to quit due to injuries. So now she's becoming an actress. So one thing to point out is that the psychological and thematic merits of this film are pretty significant. So first of all, our protagonist is blinded by his obsession with this woman. Even his movie producer buddy, Jun Kunimura's character, sees the warning signs almost immediately, and he expresses concern and warns his buddy that there's something fishy about this woman. But our main protagonist continues to chase her for a quick marriage. Like, he's locked in, you know? And this woman kind of reels him in like a wide-mouthed bass. And she plays him like a fiddle and exposes some serious character flaws on his part. Secondly, there are visual references to this woman's childhood, which may have scarred her and created some serious psychological trauma. And thirdly, the objectification of women is one of the themes here as well. But it's a little bit more multidimensional than what you might think because, you know, in some sense you do kind of like the lead character, despite the fact that his methods of finding romance are dishonest. And this is a major credit to Ryo Ishibashi's performance. He has this friendly, likable aura to him, you know? But his perspectives and thoughts are very flawed, like comparing the process of choosing a woman to the process of buying a car. So that objectification theme is very strongly presented here as well. So there's a lot of rich content to mine out of this film. Pacing is very deliberate. This is a slow-moving story, but that helps to disarm the viewer because your state of mind is fairly relaxed during the opening half. It helps to make the horror elements more effective later on. And sometimes I wonder to myself, would Audition be even better if it were edited down a little bit to help pacing? But after thinking about it, my conclusion is that, deleting scenes would make this less impactful overall because you basically need everything to make it work as well as it does. If you're familiar with how the movie ends, I will avoid spoilers. However, this is notorious for its harrowing violence. A few scenes very much stick out here. I will warn you of that. But again, everything in the film complements one another because it basically shows a descent from lighthearted type stuff to fierce consequences. And, the opening half hour is practically a romantic comedy. Like, that audition scene is hilarious. But it serves a purpose to show just how lightly our protagonist is taking this situation. And there are some truly creepy scenes, though, in the middle that result from Miike's talent at slowly overturning lurking dangers. You start to really worry here. What exactly is going to happen? And there are some surrealistic touches and dreamy moments that are also a bit disturbing. But yeah, this is one of those films that has a few big scenes that you'll remember long after the film ends. And that's really what we want from a horror film. So I strongly recommend Audition. This is a classic for a reason. Currently available streaming on YouTube and Tubi. You can also get it on Blu-ray. I personally have the Arrow video release. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.